Right, good day everybody. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. So, today has not been the greatest day for me. This morning I had my Mod 1 test and I failed. And I'll tell you what I failed on, because there were stupid things, but things that could have been somewhat prevented. Previously, the guy who owned the bike before me, the XVS 1300, I don't know how he used to ride or what sort of stress he used to put the bike under, but the clutch was pretty much worn, which obviously I didn't realise. And anyway, during my mod training, obviously I pushed that over the edge. So on Wednesday, during my mod 2 training, the clutch went, and I could only ride in very, very low revs. So as soon as I was pulling off, I was having to jump straight up to fourth and actually try and chug along to get it back to the garage. So anyway, the garage took it in, Racing Lines in Derby, and they kind of rushed it through for me so I could actually get my Mod 1 test done today. So anyway, I've gotten used to this bike through so many hours of riding it with the way it is and the way the clutch is, and they put the new clutch in. And when I came to ride it today, it was finished yesterday afternoon, but when I came to ride it today, it was so bloody sensitive, and it seems to have like doubled the power. It just seems to be immense. I mean, the acceleration is ridiculous on it now, and the biting point, the friction zone, just seemed to be completely different. And it was, I don't know, it just felt like a brand new bike that I've got to go and do controls with and swerve and like controlled manoeuvres with under test conditions. That it felt like a bike that I've never even been on before. So yeah, when we got there, there was two faults, and it all went tits up after I did the first one. Anyway, so the first thing you do in your Mod 1, you do your bike control, your handling, and you move it from one spot to another. Yeah, perfect, that piece of piss. Second bit, which most would normally fuck up on, is the slow control around the cones, the manoeuvres. So you go in and out of the cones, and then you do your figure of 8 twice. And honestly, it's not the easiest on the XVS, but I managed that, and to be honest, for some reason I found that very easy, and that was one of the most difficult bits for it. Yeah, and then as soon as you've done that, you go around the park, the area, the test centre, and then you try and hit a certain speed just so you can kind of get a feel of accelerating, and then you come to a controlled stop. Straight after that, you have a U-turn. This is my first fuck up. As I was somewhat accelerating, I had high revs on to turn the bike. For some reason, where the biting point was in the clutch before, that's what I was so used to, I naturally went and did that again. And it was just a bit too much, so it just seemed to be a lot of oomph being put through the back wheel, so I needed a lot of brake. So I went to let off the clutch just a little bit, pull it back in a little bit, sorry, and I pulled it in just a bit too much. The bike jolted forward slightly, and dickhead me, I went and panicked slightly, pulled the clutch all the way in, felt the bike go a little bit, let the clutch go out a bit to try and correct myself, but by that point it was too late and I put my foot down. Ball ache number 1, I knew I failed instantly, because obviously that's what it is. So that kind of set off a chain of reaction for everything else. Yeah, that somewhat set a bit of a chain of reaction off for everything else. Straight after that, you go into emergency stop. That was fine, and you got to reach 32 mile an hour, and I was closer to 40. And I didn't realise how quickly this bloody bike accelerated with a new clutch in. And fuck me, it is quick. So anyway, yeah, I got to that a bit quick. Emergency stop. The stop was a little bit longer than expected, because I was so used to being how it was before. I could have broken a little bit quicker, well, not quicker, I could have broke a little bit harder, but anyway, that was fine, that was a pass, that wasn't a minor or anything. And then it came to the swerve. I did the same again, and you're supposed to let off the throttle just before the first couple of cones, and then swerve around. And as I did that, swerve was perfect, but the speed that I was going at, I'd have been closer to 45, 50 or something, I don't know, I was late 60s, 70 kilometres an hour or something like that, I don't know. But anyway, I did that, and I was going too quick for the manoeuvre I needed to do. So the only way to kind of counteract what I did, I wonder where they're going. The only way to counteract what I did, I had no choice but to swerve, which meant a right good lean as well. Lent the bike right over. It did the swerve alright, and then on the way of correcting the bike back up slightly, the fucking floorboard hit the cone. What a cock. I mean, during all the training with the slow manoeuvres, I put a video up of me actually doing everything, and everything was all fine. The first 2 practice runs of that day was shit. I did the same mistake on my first 2 runs. Then the rest of the runs for the rest of the day were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And it was kind of a similar thing then today. I didn't have a run beforehand. I didn't get to have a go beforehand. It got a brand new clutch, so the whole bike felt completely different. And basically, it just fucks me over. So yes, it was my own fault, and there were petty little mistakes, but these were things that, I don't know. It was the mistakes that shouldn't have happened, that are very easy not to happen. The clutch being the way it was, being new and feeling completely, and when I say completely, it felt like a brand new bike. It felt like absolutely different. That didn't help, but I mean, I can use that as an excuse, but it wasn't an excuse. So yeah, basically I fucked up. And my Mod 2 test was supposed to be next Friday. Now there is no Mod 1 slots available for next Friday, which is a bummer. And yeah, so now there's none available for that. The days that are available I can't get off because I've booked working. So at the moment I'm a bit fucked, so I've got to go and see what my timetable's like when I get home and send them a list of the days that I can do, and I just hope someone cancels I can get one in. And then what I'll do before the next test, I will I'll just take it into the car park on my own there, and they've got the markers out for the actual U-turn, and I'll just do that myself. I'll just go around it once or twice just to get a new feeling for it, because I don't want to ride this clutch too much at the moment, because it's brand new. I need to bed it in a little bit first. I don't want to start wearing it out unevenly. So yeah, I fucked up. Oh well, shit happens, and I suppose I'm not the first or the last to do it. It was petty and it shouldn't have happened. And the instructor keeps saying, look, don't beat yourself up, look, shit happens. And yeah, it does, but it shouldn't have done. So tomorrow I've got 6 hours of Mod 2 training tomorrow, because to be honest, I'm actually quite confident as far as being on the road, especially on that bike now. It's most of my memory came back now with that bike. I just feel very familiar with it. So yeah, I'm quite confident with Mod 2, so I'm kind of using that time at the moment just to iron out little, what's the word, like bad habits. That's the word I was looking for. Like little bad habits I picked up, or maybe things like certain things like indicating, where I consider correct to indicate. Some of the instructors were saying, look, it should just be a little bit earlier, or in other times it should be a little bit later. There's certain times, like on a roundabout, where you didn't need to indicate in a certain time. There's just certain little things that I've been doing that you don't need to do, but it's no harm doing. Apparently it just shows a little bit more confidence in actual riding. So yeah, it's just little things like that that need ironing out rather than anything else. Also, I'll be getting used to the new clutch and getting the feel for that again. It's obviously a little bit of slow riding, but actually slow riding properly rather than putting it under any duress or stress or anything like that. So yeah, I'll get used to it again. I've got tomorrow is, let's say, 6 hours of Mod 2, Monday 6 hours of Mod 2, and so is Tuesday. And then I'm supposed to have my Mod 2 test on Friday with half a day before, but that's going to be at a later time now. But I don't know if that's what made a difference or not. I don't know. The fact that I thought, you know what, I really need to get today done, because obviously Mod 2 is next Friday. So I'm quite glad in a way now that I've had to take that, because there's no stress for that. I'll just get the Mod 1 out of the way. As soon as I've done that, then I'll book in for Mod 2 rather than book them both at the same time. I mean, look at this weather as well. I know that cloud over there is a bit iffy, but it is bloody lovely and sunny, and it is the most perfect weather for Mod 1 test. Mod 2, I'm not really fussed about the weather for that. I'm on the road, so I don't really care. But as far as test conditions for Mod 1 go, today couldn't have been any more perfect. It's like I had all the odds in my favour, and then all of a sudden all the odds were switched against me. That fucking clutch. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little spider just here. Hello. That's dangling away, having a free ride. I tell you what, it's bloody horrible being back on this bike. It is fucking horrible. After being on such a gorgeous bike like the XVS, it's such a nice bike to ride. So comfortable. Everything just does what it's supposed to. It is really nice. And then I get back on this, and it's like, oh, really? So yeah, maybe on the next one I might not even tell anybody I'm doing the Mod 2 test. The Mod 1 test. I might just do it so nobody really knows about it. That may be another thing that contributed to it, because you know what, last night I wasn't nervous at all. I didn't feel no stress, no pressure, nothing. This morning, I felt all fine, everything was brilliant. Got to the test centre, yeah, everything was fine, got on the bike. The second I started pulling away on that bike, which was obviously slow control instantly, rather than just slow riding like you would in traffic, the slow control and the slow turn, I instantly felt the difference in that bike, which I didn't feel before. So the second that happened, that's when all my nerves kick in and I thought, shit, this is just gonna go tits up. And you know what, I thought that and it did. So maybe go in there with a bit more of a positive attitude next time and tell myself, you know what, fuck it, you are gonna pass, you're gonna get it done, it's a piece of piss, you're not gonna make stupid mistakes that you shouldn't make, that you wouldn't normally make. So yeah, so that's the plan for next time anyway, just get in there, crack on, get the fucking thing done. So tomorrow on my Mod 2 training, I think I am actually going to turn up to the training centre, which is Shires in Derby. I am going to turn up there a lot earlier. I think I'm going to take a second GoPro and attach that to my XVS, and I'm not sure if I'm going to vlog whilst I'm on this, but I think I'm going to have a mic on and have both cameras running. The mic on more so there's not shitloads of wind noise. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do that and record some of the journey and get that up on YouTube. It's just a bitch at the moment having to ride it. It's costing me each time, but I'm quite glad that it's being stored in the lockup Shires, because it's stopping any temptation that I may have had to actually take it out and go for a spin or do something daft. So are all these cars going straight on, or is he going left? He's a bit fucking far over. That's it, you keep edging forward because it's going to make all the difference. So I don't get that in some of the cars. They sit here at the red light. The light's red. They edge forward, they edge forward, they edge forward, and they keep going and going and going and going. But they don't get nowhere any fucking quicker. And it always seems to be dickheads in Audis or BMs. Look, see, look, it's still going. Oh, there you go. Oh, look. Go on. Cheers, thank you. Look, there you go. Indicator at the last moment. It was sitting there, edging forward, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as the amber light came on, you would have thought he was going to shoot off, but no. He still waited. So what was the point of all that edging forward? Tell you what, I've been talking bloody quick for ages. I've probably said too much. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Hello there, Mr. Please. Alright, they're having a dance around in the car. Fuck knows what they were doing. Look at this bloody weather as well. It is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm getting a bit peckish, and Colin, one of the instructors, came back from his morning session with one of the new lads. Came back with a bag of chips. And the lad, he had chips as well, gave me one of his chips, and I was like, oh, really fancy fucking chips now. Hello. I can't hear you, got all food in your mouth. Hey, alright, but can I have a mixed meat and chips? There you go, thank you. Cheers. Alright, so that's my chips sorted. If you're ever in Derby, you want to try this place, it's called Simpfin's Place. Chips and meat are beautiful. Alright guys, so I think that's me done. Yeah, I'm not embarrassed to admit that I failed today. It's not an embarrassing thing, or nothing to be ashamed of. It's just it's more disappointing. So yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click on the channel, click the videos, there's more there. While you're there, just do me a favour, give me a thumbs up. It make me feel a lot better. Anyway, take care all, have a good day and ride safe.